UN 영어뉴스. Why Italian cheesemakers buried their pecorino. When COVID hit Italy in 2020, the pecorino industry careened towards life support. But thanks to the ingenuity of several producers, the cheese is now perhaps better than ever. Loreto Pasiti was stumped. He was desperate. The pecorino producer couldn't sell one of Italy's most famous cheeses. No one could. COVID had closed restaurants and public markets, skyrocketed production costs, and curbed public spending. Worried his cheese would spoil, he did what his ancestors did hundreds of years ago. He buried his cheese in a cave. During the lockdown, I lost almost everything, said Pasiti, owner of La Casiosteria di Casa Lorenzo, in the village of Picinisco, in the Lazio region. But then, because of this system of burying cheese, I recovered everything. Pecorino, a strong, hard, savory, salty cheese made from sheep's milk, comes in a variety of styles, such as fresco, which is light and typically used in salads, semi-stagionato, which is aged for about 60 days, and often eaten with bread or fruit, and stagionato, which is sharper, more brittle, and aged for 36 months. Gennargentu di Pizzalis Bruno, a manufacturer outside Rome, near the town of Bracciano, makes 26 different pecorinos. As Rome restaurant owner Massimo Innocenti said, pecorino is really the final food. I always thought that if I was on a deserted island and I had pecorino, it would be perfect. Innocente is up close and personal with pecorino under the floor of his restaurant. Nessidal 1924 is a 2,000-year-old cave left over from the Roman Empire, where he stores all his pecorino. Pecorino Romano, or virgin, originally hailing from the Lazio region near Rome, hence the name Romano, is the cheese that defines the Italian kitchen. It's lighter, drier, and saltier than other pecorino varieties, and bonds so many Italian dishes such as cacio e pepe, pasta carbonara, and bucatini alla matriciana, a typical Roman dish made of pasta, pig's cheek, and tomatoes. It's seasoned for up to 2 years and is delicious with a dab of honey and a glass of wine, and it has been around Italy for 2,000 years. During the Roman Republic, 508 to 27 BC, shepherds needed to do something with their excess sheep's milk, and so they made what is Pecorino Romano. The Roman Empire's renowned agricultural writer Lucio Moderato Columella wrote about what appeared to be Pecorino Romano in 50 CE in Delle Rustica. Turns out Pecorino Romano was an ideal food for Roman armies, as it had a lifespan longer than many soldiers. In the Middle Ages, people started adding salt to Pecorino Romano and discovered that it helped to preserve the cheese Soon it spread beyond the Italian peninsula. Pecorino Romano has survived the fall of the Roman Empire, earthquakes, and fascism. Pecorino Romano is like a Roman soldier, said Rome-based food writer Rachel Ellis Lodi. It's meant to be a working cheese. Despite its name, Pecorino Romano is sold on a large scale, as it is used primarily in the home kitchen. This mass-produced version, affordable and readily available in supermarkets across Italy, not only survived COVID, it thrived. During Italy's lockdowns, families stocked up on it. In fact, sales went up during COVID, going from 26,940 tons sold in 2019 to 34,280 last year. Artisanal pecorinos, meanwhile, nearly became another COVID victim when restaurants and public markets closed, and producers wondered what they'd do with factories full of cheese going bad fast, and so they resorted to selling it door to door. They grew their own corn to combat the growing cost of sheep feed, and they buried it in caves to preserve it for a later date. During COVID, Loreto Pasiti started bearing his pecorino. Pasiti said, I tried to sell to the people door to door. I opened an online market, but it wasn't working very well. Then I changed the production scheme. In July 2020, he made bigger cheeses so he could preserve more at one time, and took them to Emilia-Romagna in central Italy, where he buried them in a cave of tufa stone 4 meters deep. Hundreds of years ago, people hid their food in similar caves known as fossa. Even the cheeses, Pasiti said, then they discovered the cheeses became better with longer shelf life. According to Innocenti, in Europe, the practice of ripening cheeses in underground pits dates back to the Middle Ages and was used to protect food from the raids of occasional invaders. Over time, however, it became less common for producers to use the fossa, and the practice faded. Pasiti filled his cave and sealed it for 3 months, allowing the cheese to eat all the oxygen, mature, and develop in flavor. His pecorino picinisco, for example, becomes spicy and crumbly in the mouth, with hints of porcino, mushrooms, and chestnuts. Now it's one of his most popular sellers. The process also extends the cheese life to 18 to 24 months instead of 5 to 6. When I eat the pecorino in the fossa, I'm in a good mood because the pecorino in the fossa is very strong, said Romina, his wife and co-proprietor. Romina Pasiti, when I eat the pecorino in the fossa, I'm in a good mood because the pecorino in the fossa is very strong. Not far away in Sette Frati, Maria Pia and brother Antonio are 9th generation shepherds. Every June, they take their sheep 70 km to a plain 1,000 meters up. The sheep supply pecorino for their families' Agricola San Maurizio business. However, production costs tripled on feed for the animals, electricity for their factory, and gas for the tractors. The animals eat and don't know we had COVID, Maria said. To combat costs, they grew their own corn. They now make 12,000 kilos a year and save 20 euros per 100 kilos. To the Pias, pecorino is their lifeblood. It is my family food, Maria said. Every day we have a different picture of our work. It represents the little farmers, the identity and the tradition. At Gennargentu di Pizzarlis Bruno, marketing director Silvano Secchi recalled the throes of COVID when sales and Italians' income flatlined. Silvano Secchi, it's difficult to find people who are willing to pay for quality. It's difficult to find people who are willing to pay for quality, he said, because people have less money and can't spend money for quality cheese, and so it's very difficult to sell pecorino, which costs 40 euros a kilo. Fuel during COVID went from 0.5 euros a liter to 1.3 euros overall. Expenses increased 60%. They upped their prices 10% and sales dropped 25%. We organized some other things, Secchi said. Otherwise, it would have been 80%. Secchi and owner Bruno Pizzarlis started online sales, shipped cheese, and sold home to home to attract business. They gave away free ricotta made from leftover sheep's milk that's recooked after the production of other cheeses. RCR, the Regional Association for Agricultural Development, gave them 10,000 euros for a website. Helping his recovery was one of his best clients, Massimo Innocenti, the owner of a restaurant Nexi Dal 1924 and its 2,000-year-old cave. In 2006, Innocenti bought the restaurant, which has occupied a corner in the gritty Piganeto neighborhood of southeast Rome since 1924. However, it wasn't until July 2020 when he decided to build a wine cellar that he discovered there was an open space under the floor. Massimo Innocenti stores pecorino in Nexidal 1924's 2,000-year-old cave. We didn't dig, he said. We just lifted some tiles, just 10 centimeters down, were just concrete and iron bars. They closed it like a tomb. What they found was a sprawling cave that dates to the Roman Empire. The ancient Romans used it to store pozzolana, a volcanic sand used in making cement. Innocenti spent 8 months turning it into a cheese cellar and started creating and storing different pecorinos. Since then, he has been using different varieties of pecorino on cheese plates and in dishes at the restaurant. His kitchen maestro, Shahin Ghazi, who first learned to cook seafood in his mom's kitchen in Bangladesh, came to Nexi in 2010. I'm a pecorino fan, said Ghazi. It's good to pair with sharp and aggressive ingredients. It's why it's perfect for Roman cuisine, because Roman cuisine is the homeland of sharp taste and aggressive taste. Take Nexi's Jewish style artichoke in pecorino romano cream and paprika croutons. The artichoke is deep fried on a bed of the thick pecorino sauce, even for someone who doesn't like artichokes, such as this writer. The pecorino made it more than palatable. Massimo Innocenti used different varieties of pecorino in dishes at Nexi, Dar 1924. Artichoke is the most difficult thing to pair in the kitchen, Gage said. It's an eternal fight with all the ingredients. They fight together. Pecorino is a great match because both are strong and powerful. From this fight between two ingredients is born a great friendship. Then there is the piece di grano saraceno, buckwheat pasta with pumpkin, pig's cheek, and chestnuts in a pecorino romano sauce. All the ingredients in this pasta are very strong and aggressive flavors, Gage said. We have the sweetness of the pumpkin, and we have the saltiness of the guanciale, pig's cheek. The highlight of the menu may be the pan-fried prawn salad served in a pecorino romano basket with leeks, ginger, and balsamic vinegar reduction. After eating the balsamic coated shrimp, you eat the basket like a giant pecorino cracker. Every pecorino has a different taste, said Agate Zauborg, Innocenti's wife and co-owner. It touches many different aspects of the taste. It can be sweet, it can be spicy. It's very interesting with wine. When you have wine, the taste changes. But after 2000 years, some things never change, such as the longevity of pecorino, which even COVID couldn't end.